sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long.
Facebook, YouTuber, Instagrammer, Periscope, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are live on all these platforms. Welcome ragazzi, benvenuti. This is Giada Valenti from Las Vegas. Today is 43 days that we're doing this. Can you believe it? 43 days. You guys have been with me for 43 days. I was watching actually this morning the first video I did 43 days ago from my living room. It was 10 minutes of me missing you and saying hello. And we went from, I think the first time we were 300 of us, and now we are every day between 5,000 and 1,500 of us, 15,000. And sometimes we had a couple of days, I think it depends also on my guess, we were 90,000 of us all over the globe. And you guys, every day you are, and this is because of you, because every day you invite friends, family to join us, you share it everywhere. I see a lot of you coming with me every day. Where are you watching from? I almost know almost everybody of you where you're watching from, but I always see a lot of new people. So guys, also you there on Instagram, benvenuti, welcome. I see, of course, Sacramento, I see France, I see Germany, I see Ireland, England, of course, a lot of Las Vegas. This morning I saw a nice post of my dear friend Dennis Bono that he was saying that he was missing his family, Elisa and Bella, that they are in Connecticut. And Dennis, I miss you. Of course, today, because I miss you so much, I'm drinking my coffee with the Dennis Bono show cups that he gave me a couple of months back, and when we celebrated 20 years of the Dennis Bono show from the South Point. And as you may know, I love Dennis Bono. He's been like family to me ever since I moved here a year ago. And sometimes I host the show with Dennis. He embraced me like his own family. I love Elisa, Bella, his wife, of course. They are like family to me. And I'm so grateful to them. And I miss you guys. So, Dennis, you miss your family. I miss you. But, amen. Hopefully, I'm going to see you soon. And I know all of you here in Vegas are missing the Dennis Bono show. And all of us. My last performance was March 12th at the Smith Center. That's been the last concert. And then they closed Vegas. Can you believe it, guys? And I know some of you flew all the way. You Doug, came all the way from Sacramento. And some people came from San Diego. And so when this is going to be over, I think the first things we are going to be doing is we're all going to gather somewhere. I would say Italy. What about us, guys? Maybe we all gather together, or here in Vegas or in Venice. Those are the two places where I was thinking about to do like a convention. The post-coronavirus COVID-19 convention. So without further ado, today is a very special day. I know many of you have been excited for weeks ever since I said I will ask if you want to join me. We all love him as an actor. He's Joe Mantegna, of course. I know many of you were just saying, my gosh, I cannot wait. And I cannot wait myself. So let's start right away with, like we always do, we sing the little song, and then we'll see if John is there, because, John is a busy man. I cannot even believe he accepted to be with us today. So you guys have to thank me big time. So you requested me this song, I think 2 weeks ago. So I learned it especially for you. And since I'm in Vegas, I think it's very appropriate. This is the song Love Me Tender. You guys asked me to do something from Elvis Presley, and so I did. The song was written in 1956. This is what everybody believes, because Elvis Presley released the song in 1956. But actually, the song is based on, is an adaptation of a Civil War song called Aura Lee, that was written in 1861. So I told you the other time, Elvis Presley recorded and actually decided to sing it on September 9, 1956 at the Ed Sullivan Show, even before the movie was released and also the song was released. And overnight, they had a pre-order of 2 million records. Because of that, the original title of the movie that came 1 month after 20th Century Fox added in the movie was supposed to be called The Reno Brothers. Of course, they changed the title of the movie into Love Me Tender because they wanted to capitalize the money they had already made with Elvis Presley, Love Me Tender. So for all of you guys, it's a pleasure for me to sing again for you Love Me Tender of the one and only Elvis Presley. I know you guys requested it. So for your pleasure, it's from my heart to yours always.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. This is the sign of I love you in sign languages. So guys, I really love you. I love you. Oh. So this was Love Me Tender, of course. And if you've been following me, I have the sign here of I love you from sign language. I have my friend Diane Fiorentino here from Las Vegas. She's teaching me every day sign language for you, for the people that, I want to include every time everybody. So I'm learning so much. On Saturday we cook together and we are friends and family. I'm learning so much actually. I learned to sing Happy Birthday. And with Diane, we want to do much more. So without further ado, my guest of today, I think if I was only saying his name, everybody would know who it is. But let me say something. He's an American actor, producer, writer, director. He won, I think, Tony, Primetime Emmy Awards, Golden Globes. He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We will be talking about. He even have you remember that I was telling you that they have an Italian Walk of Fame in Toronto, Canada? He has a star there, of course. And he's an amazing father of two amazing young ladies, which I have been blessed to meet. A fantastic husband to his wife. I mean, I met her too. And what else? And he's an amazing, he's a superstar. But listen to this. A few years back when nobody, just moved to the United States 16 years ago, I needed recommendation letters for my visa. Do you remember I told you? And I had just met him in Washington. I asked for a recommendation letter. I got the most spectacular letters. My lawyer was surprised. And not only that, a couple of years later, he saw me by coincidence while I was on PBS with my PBS special from Venice with Love. And he took a time to go to the computer and to send me a message to tell me, I've seen it. I really like it. I mean, is he a superstar or what? I think it's for sure. I think is a blessing in my life and is an understatement. So let's see if he's here. And by the end of this interview, by the way, you're going to love him even more if you, you already love. There is the man.
Giada, bella.
Giada, hey, Joe, bellissimo. Come stai? How are you?
I am very good. Bene, bene, grazie.
That was before we go into it. Do you speak some Italian?
I speak bad Italian. I parlo brutto Italiano, io, but some I get. I have family, as you know, in Italy, outside Bari, and some in Sicilia, and so the dialects get all mixed up. And I was a bad student, but I get by. I can somewhat understand it, and they understand me a little bit. So.
That was my question to you, because we all know you as the amazing actor, director, and everything. But can you tell us a little bit, where is Joe coming from? You were born in Chicago, am I correct?
Yes, I grew up in Chicago. My parents, my mother was born in Chicago, but my father was actually born in Oklahoma because his father, my grandfather, came over from Sicily at the turn of the last century, early 1900s. And back then, the Native Americans here in America were selling land to immigrants in Oklahoma because there were coal mines there and they needed people to work in the coal mines. So, and that was typical in this country. Other Italian, in Colorado was the same thing. So anyway, my grandfather went to Oklahoma, raised his family there. My mother was in Chicago. But then when my grandfather died in Oklahoma, that family moved to Chicago. That's where my father met my mother. But my mother's family had come over from Bari, a town called Acquaviva della Fonte, vicino Bari.
And you've been there, Joe? Have you been visiting?
I have. Oh, yes. I'm very close to my cousin Nicola Novielli. He owns an agriturismo in Acquaviva called Massaria Moffetta. It's wonderful. I've been there numerous times. And so I'm very close to my relatives in Italy. And so I feel very blessed to have them. And that's it. It's great.
It's great. Yeah, I wanted to say something that maybe not many people know. Actually, the first time I met you, I didn't know. My favorite instrument, even though I play piano, is bass. And you are a bass player. Not many people know that you started. I don't know if you started, but you were in several bands as a bass player. I think.
I was in one band primarily back in the 60s. Oh, there we go.
There you are. Look, you're handsome.
Boy, those are old photos. Yeah, I did that for about 5 years, and I became very close to the band that ultimately became Chicago. They were called the Missing Links back then. And then later on, they became Chicago. And but I learned right around 1969. We were a good band. We were very popular. We played a lot, but we were a cover band. In other words, we mainly played other people's music. Where, as I saw, my good friends in Chicago were creating their own music and their own albums, and I kind of knew that was not the path we were on. So that's when I made the decision, maybe move more toward an acting career, which I was able to do. I got cast in 1969 in the play Hair, and that started my acting career, and I've been doing that ever since.
And Hair actually is very special to you because you won a Tony Award, right, with that one? Your first
not with Hair. I won the Tony Award in 1984 for the play Glengarry Glen Ross on Broadway. Wow. I'd done other Broadway shows, but yes, it was Glengarry Glen Ross where I won the Tony Award, and which the play also won the Pulitzer Prize. So that was a very important year for me. And written by David Mamet, who many people know who he is.
Yes.
And so that changed my career quite a bit. I'd already been working, like I said, from 69 to 84 professionally, but my career really took off after that year of 84, winning the Tony Award, being on Broadway. And that's when I mainly started to do movies, television, and other theater.
So you already knew you didn't want to be a musician, but I know you have also another passion, which is baseball. I found a cute picture of you in one of your pages. JJ, can you show the picture of Joe? I think you're cute like a bottom. Look at you.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
you look like Gia. Actually, you're.
Yes, that was me. I think probably about 8 or 9 years old, watching a baseball game on black and white television. I still enjoy that very much. I'm a big baseball for Chicago Cubs. It's my team in Chicago. Oh, there we are. There we go.
Yeah. That actually was one of my most special days when Joe, you invited me to come on the set of Criminal Minds when you were directing one of the episodes, and I thank you for that. And I remember the day I think they were playing that's why you were wearing that. Oh, they just won.
Yes, I think it was something special. That's why I wore it, because there were a couple of members of the crew. I think they were also Cub fans, and I wore it that day. And I was directing that episode. Yes, it's behind the camera. Because my hair was a little darker back then.
You still look awesome. My father in Italy is like you, has a lot of hair. My brother, though, on the other hand, is bald. So when I told him I was interviewing, he said, "Well, you said in an interview you're lucky," and my brother said, "He's lucky. He still has hair."
My brother actually is kind of a little like hair challenged right now, but he's 8 years older than I am, so I understand it. So that
Yeah, my brother is young, but I think it's an Italian thing. They blame it to the. They
yeah,
said they are very manly. I mean,
I don't know. Not enough olive oil, maybe. I don't know.
they made up all these things. I don't think it's nothing true. Talking about Criminal Minds, I mean, you know that I love you as a person, but I'm a huge Criminal Minds fan. And you've been how many times with the Criminal Minds series?
I was on 13 years. The series was on for 15 seasons. I did 13 of the 15. I came in season 3. And it was wonderful. I had a wonderful experience. I'm still very close to all the people. It was a little bittersweet to end it, but everything comes to an end, and I can't complain because we did 325 shows, which puts us, I think, certainly in the top 20, if not the top 10, here in the States of longevity on a television show. So
and all over Europe, because I don't know if you are aware. I mean, it's existing in Italy, in France, in England, and they dub your voice. So for many people, they are watching today from Italia or France. They're gonna finally they can hear your.
This is the real. This is Joe Mantegna, yes, but it's true.
This is Agent Rossi's voice.
Agent Rossi, and I made him an Italian American. Obviously, that's why I chose that character's name. I said, if I'm going to play something for a long time, let's make him a positive role model, make him an Italian American. So that's where I came up with the name. And I named him after a real person, actually. Was a policeman, Los Angeles policeman friend of mine. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. My father is a police officer. I didn't know. My father will be happy to hear that. Yeah. So that's a good thing. When you took me to the set, what struck me was that, as you said, you were like a family from top to bottom.
Yes. Very much so. Yeah, it happens. That's chemistry. You can't make that happen. It's either going to happen or not going to happen. And we got very close. We stay in touch. There'll be we'll do little tweet threads every once in a while, and we'll hear from each other. And it was a wonderful experience. It really was.
So I am a singer, but I have an incredible respect for actors. Actually 2 years ago, my friend Clint Holmes said you have to take lessons with Larry Moss, which is a very famous acting coach. So I spent 2 days observing how he was preparing actors to prepare the things, and I saw how intense it's for the actors to prepare for whatever scene. So I know that there are similarity between me as a singer and you as an actor, because when I sing a song, I tell another story, but I have to somehow make it my own. So my question to you, since I know you as the most sweet and nice person of the whole planet, so when you were preparing for Criminal Minds of Joey Zaza, or I don't know, Fat Tony of The Simpsons, do you go around the house? Yeah, there they are. Do you go around the house with Arlene and the kids being for weeks that person, or you just can step in and out of the look at you?
There's Joey Zaza. Well, not so much. There are different schools of thought as to acting styles. Some people are into a method actor where they really want to immerse themselves into it for a long time. They want people to call them by that character when they're around them. That's fine. I mean, everybody has their own style. I tend to work more like the British actors tend to do it closer to the way I do it, which is more from the outside in. In other words, I do my research on the part, but then I try to create the character based on a lot of the external parts as well. I remember like when I played Dean Martin in the Rat Pack, I did a lot of research, watched movies, interviews, read about him. There you go.
Yeah.
How he held a cigarette, things like that. But to me, that was important. In other words, even the way a person dressed, the way their hair looked, the way he would smoke a cigarette, the way he would, work on his voice a little bit. So I started to think, I think he had a sing-song kind of voice. And so I kind of changed it and patterned it after a commercial I used to have in the States here about the Sugar Bear. It was a cereal called the Sugar Crisp. And it was like, I can't get enough of those Sugar Crisp. And to me, that's the way Dean Martin kind of talked. So in other words, I would build all these little pieces to create a character. But each one is different. Each one demands, different things. So whatever it takes. I mean, I've been doing it for over 50 years now. So I guess just whatever works, whatever. It's too late for me to change course. This is it.
Well, you've been successful in everything that you have done. So my question was to you, have you ever been in something that you thought this is fantastic and then it ended up turning out disaster of not being
Yeah, I think that happens to everybody. It's not so much that it would be a disaster, but sometimes you think, I mean, it's true. Sometimes you'll just go into something thinking, boy, everything about this seems right and it should be very successful and everybody should like it. And then maybe it comes out and it's okay and it just doesn't quite make it. Yet on the other hand, you do things that you say to yourself, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about this, but I'll do it because it's interesting, but this will probably last 10 minutes. And then it turns out to be one of the most successful things you've ever done in your life. And you go, okay. So I guess if it was that easy to figure it out, to be perfectly, to understand what is going to be successful and what isn't, then everybody would be able to do it all the time and there'd be no struggle. So it happens. But I've been fortunate that I think it's like what they say about artists. Paint what you love, what you believe in, and probably the same way.
Yeah.
What you love, what resonates for you, and if you do that, then even win or lose, or success or failure, you at least feel you made the right choice. The reason you chose it were for good reasons, and then beyond that, it's out of your control.
Yeah, it's totally well said. Well, you are inspiring so many people. Me, one of them. Even though I'm not an actress, I mean, you for me, you are what a superstar is. You are first of all a human being, and then a father, a husband, and then you are the actors that we love. But who has inspired you as a person and as an artist?
Every day I'm inspired by people. I have to say, I just yesterday, my assistant sent me a video of a man who gave a commencement speech at this Christian college a few years ago. And it was such an incredible speech. He said it was an African-American former football player. And he gave this speech. And at the end of it, I was in tears because it was such a beautiful speech. And it was, again, one of those things. I'll send it to you. But it was one of those things, after I saw it, I thought, it gives you confidence in the human race again, in the sense of like, it's so wonderful that there are people like that who pass along this kind of knowledge and this kind of positive thinking. So, I mean, I think all my life there's been different people that you run into. You run into different people who inspire you, whatever. I mean, for a profession, I mean, there's a lot of actors that I've enjoyed to watch and stuff, but I tend to admire more people in other professions. I mean, that's part of the reason why I appreciate you so much, the singers. I mean, as you know, I was such a big fan of Dean Martin, of Tony Bennett, of Frank Sinatra, Johnny Mathis. I even used Johnny Mathis in an episode of Criminal Minds where I made him my best man at the wedding that I had in the one episode. So I've had such great admiration for singers, for writers, people outside of my profession, because I work with actors all the time. But the great singers like yourself, to me, that's such a treat. But you are somebody like that. You are a beautiful person. That's why it's the truth. That's why it was so easy for me to write that letter for you, because I thought if we can't have a person like you as a citizen in this country or to be part of this country, who should be? You know what I mean?
You're so sweet. For me, I mean, that has impressed everybody, actually. At the time when you wrote the letter, we met for the first time, because actually me and you, Joe, we met in Washington. There was another thing. We met in Washington at the Order of Sons of Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been involved with many charity organizations, and you help also the Order of Sons of Italy. That I think is the first.
We are there, yes. Fantastic.
Yes, look at us, how young we were. That must have been like 14 years ago. Or 15 years ago. Look at us, two kids. Look at that, year after year, Joe.
There we go.
Then I met your beautiful family, your wife Mia and Gia. And I fell in love with you with a man, and then look at you, your family is.
This one, Gia, all the way on the end there. She just turned 30 years old last week. So that's
she's an amazing actress. Talking about talent that goes from. I mean,
yes, and she's a wonderful singer as well. She's done some songs, original songs that again, that she's did a beautiful job. But I feel very blessed. I have a wonderful family, and yeah, it's all good. I mean, I've had a very blessed life. I have no complaints.
Hey, we are blessed with you. And I wanted to say, one of the, I met you in Washington, and normally a couple of days later, the event in Washington, there is always the concert that you do for PBS in honor of for Memorial Day weekend.
National Memorial Day concert.
Yes. For me, he's one, I think I told you many times, he's one of the most beautiful events because it's very meaningful. I'm very, maybe an old soul. I'm always say that we are what we are today because we are the result of the past. And sometimes we forget the military, the people that died for or give their freedom for our freedom. And what you have done, I don't know if it was your idea. You always have those amazing actors like yourself telling the story of those people. And I mean, I'm crying every time, Joe. I mean, I'm there like, what is happening this year? Is it happening?
It is, it is happening, but obviously in a different kind of way. This will be my 19th year, in fact, doing it. I've been doing it for that long, and Gary Sinise has been doing it with me, I think, for about 17 years. This year, what we're doing is we're going to do a collection, the best of in many ways. In other words, we're going to take different performances over the last, and the show's been going on for almost 30 years. I came in after it was already been going on about 10 years. And we're going to have specific performances that we've chosen. And then Gary and I will film some new things. I think in about a week from now, he and I are going to get together under a very controlled situation here in Los Angeles, and we'll film things ins and outs to connect the scene, to connect the performances. And then also we're going to have different people who have past performers are sending in shout outs to many of the people, like first responders, people from the medical profession, doctors, police, firemen, all the people who, even clerks in grocery stores, all the people who we now have a huge dependence on, we perhaps didn't think quite so, strongly about every day before. So yes, the concert will go on. It'll be on PBS. It just won't be done live. People won't be able to attend it in DC as normal. But hopefully we'll do that next year, because normally we get over 200,000 people at the live concert, and obviously we just can't have a crowd like that in person. But it should be a very special kind of wonderful concert this year.
I'm happy to hear, yeah. And I was just realizing this morning, because today is Worldwide Gratitude Day, and some friends of mine in the music, they told me that today everybody was supposed to sing or play the song "Lean on Me" to give our thanks. So I just posted on my Instagram.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Bill Withers as well. He did an episode of Criminal Minds as well that I directed. And so I'm happy to hear. I mean, he passed this year, but I loved him very much. He was a wonderful man, and I'm so glad that his song, especially now, has endured and has such special meaning today.
Yeah. So today, I think 7 p.m. Easter time, everybody that could do it, they have to sing "Lean on Me" and to make a little recording and hashtag "Lean on Us." So I did it.
Yes,
I did it.
You did it. Excellent. All right.
I did it. I have to be honest with you. I knew the song, but I never sang. And so this morning, I went in my room and I found a backing track somewhere. I put some backup vocals, and then I sing in live in front of the computer. So if you go on my Instagram, you can see it. I posted half an hour ago. But I thought it's very important. It doesn't matter the quality, right? I think it's important.
Of course. No. It's just like I say, the spirit is there. But for you, the quality, I know, will be fantastic. So it's not a problem.
Somebody said something very nice a few days ago. He said, we are all in these same storms, but we are in different boats. Because for some people, this kind of period is even more difficult than others, which is true. There are some people really... I've lost friends to the coronavirus, and not, thank God, no family. So, but I try to cheer up like you. I mean, I know you in LA have been LA. There are a lot of people with no actors of nobody.
Well, thank God, no one that I know personally. I mean, a few people, friends of mine who have a friend of theirs or something like that. Nobody, and of course, I was in close touch with my family in Italy, and there were some scary moments there for a while. Yeah. But we'll all get through this. We will. I mean, and hopefully we'll learn from it, and hopefully the civilization as a whole will move forward a little smarter, a little better. And that's all we can do. There's always going to be trials and tribulations in lifetime, and just this one we happen to do collectively with the whole planet, which gives us an opportunity to maybe learn something.
And it united people more than ever. I mean, what else could I have a Joe Mantegna joining me in a live streaming, right? If it wasn't because we were at home.
Anyway, we don't need no coronavirus for that.
I mean, I know that I'm grateful for you forever, because you have a special connection with, I'm from Venice, Italy, and you have a special connection with Venice, Italy. And you introduced to me one of your best friends, who is now a dear friend of mine, which is an amazing man.
Yes. my dear friend Sergio, who's a mask maker in Venice. He has a little shop right on the Rialto Bridge there, and I'm in touch with him all the time. And he's one, wonderful human being. And and it's funny what you brought that up. You mentioned Venice. It reminds me of something what you said earlier about how you as a singer, how you have acted out as well, and all that. That reminds me that one of the times when I was in Venice, I was making a movie there. We shot the whole movie in Venice. Yeah, it was called Laguna. I never even saw it. It was released. It was released in Italy. But it was with Emmanuelle Seigneur, the actress,
Yeah.
and, of the British actor Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill was in it.
After.
But anyway, Charles Aznavour was also in the movie.
Okay.
And I remember that one night we were on the Grand Canal. We were taking the Vaporetto to get to work. We had a night shoot, and I was talking to Charles because I directed a movie and I wanted to use the song "Beyond the Sea." The Bobby Darin song, Where Beyond, which of course was not an American song. It was La Mer. It was the original song.
The original French
and
one.
he owned it. Charles Aznavour actually owned the rights to that song because he had a long song. But what he explained to me, which made me think of you, what you just said, I told him, I'd seen him in concert once in Los Angeles. He says, "Oh, Charles, you're a wonderful singer." He goes, "I don't think of myself as a singer." He says, "I am an actor. I think of myself as an actor who just interprets through music, through my songs." And I thought, wow, that's very interesting. He says, I know I do a little acting and that I've made a career out of being a singer, but I always think of myself that I am acting the songs as opposed to singing the songs. And I thought that's very interesting. And so that kind of ties into what you said. And I think the great singers like yourself do that. Everybody can just sing the same song, but only certain people you say, "Oh, wow, that resonates with me. It's a little something special."
I never realized in myself that when I went to this class with Larry Moss, of course, because Clint, are you familiar with Clint Holmes, these singers?
Yes, I am familiar with him.
What struck me about Clint Holmes, I think I have the same, is that when he sings a song, like when you act something, you really became wherever you're saying. He's not an actor saying, or he's not a singer. Clint is what he's singing. He comes from, and probably I do it myself. And I understood what a connection there is between acting and singing. We are storytellers. Right. We all are storytellers.
Exactly. That's what Sinatra always said. He felt he was a storyteller, and that's why he was, the great talent that he was.
Yeah, and that's why you're the great actors that you are. And now I know that you can sing. One day, Joe, we have to do a duet, me and you. Come on, lean on me.
Yeah,
Come on, you sing "Lean on Me."
Yeah, lean on me. Lean on me.
Lean on me.
Yeah, that's right. I had, I did it. The last musical I did on Broadway was called Working by Studs Terkel, and it only ran for like a month on Broadway. But they did cut the album, the cast album, and I have 2 songs on that album. They were written by James Taylor. So,
wow!
So yeah, that's a fond memory of mine that I got to work with James Taylor. He taught me the songs, and then but it was very intimidating because I remember this was 1978, and I'm in this recording studio with him in New York, and he sits down with a guitar and he sings the song for me. And he goes like, and then when he finishes, he goes, "All right, Joe, now you go ahead, you sing it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, now I've got to sing his song back to James Taylor." But anyway, it was a great experience. And anyway, that was the last time I recorded a song on, the last time I really got paid to sing. Let's put it that way. But anyway, it was a wonderful.
Can we find any of these recordings, Joe, for the people that are curious?
So it's out there. I'm sure if you Google cast album for Working, it must be out there somewhere, and then you'll see that I've got one song I sing as a solo and one I sing as a duet with another actor.
Wow, good. And when you did the movie about the Red Pack, that you were basically impersonating Dean Martin. I know that you are. I mean, I love Dean Martin, and you are.
Right.
Also, did you have to sing for real, or they just?
They had sounded like there wasn't much singing in the movie because it was more dramatic. But there were times that there were some singing. But they got guys that were kind of sounded like guys to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, just to do it a little bit. But there's a couple moments where I do sing, but just a little bit. I think it was when I came out. Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Just that much maybe.
Yeah.
So I did that. But all the rest was just Don Cheadle, I think, did a little. It was his own as well. But he and we agreed to do a little bit. I think Ray Liotta said, no, I'm not singing. But it was okay. We didn't have to do anything.
I mean, it's Dean Martin. I mean, it's like I think that Renée Zellweger was very brave to redo Judy Garland in the movie. That a couple of
yes, she did
because I would be scared to say, hey, can you?
Yeah.
There's a job.
I don't know if you ever saw with Judy Davis. Judy Davis did where she portrayed Judy Garland as well years ago. I think it was on HBO film. It's also a very, very good performance.
It's quite I think difficult, not for a good actor like you, but let's say for any actor to portray somebody that is so iconic like those people, right? I mean,
no, you're absolutely right, because the difference is when you do something who is iconic, like you say, people have expectations. In other words, they all feel they know that person. So now you have to come in and kind of convince them for at least a little while to suspend their belief and that accept that you are kind of doing a reasonable facsimile of that person.
Yeah.
That was my goal with Dean Martin, and I felt good about it. I worked on it very hard, and what was great is, I got an Emmy nomination and a Golden Globe nomination for that role, and so I at least felt the homework that I did was paid off. But when you play a character who is just a fictitious character, then you can create anything you want, and people are not going to compare it to like, oh well, he doesn't. I don't buy it, and that person doesn't really look like him or sound like him. And I wasn't always trying to imitate Dean Martin as much as just try to create enough of a semblance of like, this is who I'm supposed to be for these couple hours. Watch it, and hopefully you buy it for that amount of time. And it seemed to work out.
I think it's one of the only few things you have done that I have not seen it. I'm gonna see if I can find it on Netflix. I want to see.
Right. Yeah, you might like it. It's a good film. It was a good film.
Well, I love you in Forget Paris. I love that movie. I love all your romantic, and I saw you once in a children movie where you played
Baby's Day Out, was it?
Yeah, a very old movie, but you were amazing over there because, of course,
I was the villain. It was like a John Hughes picture. He's the same guy who made Home Alone and those movies.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it was very similar.
Yeah, a lot. I meet when I meet young adults, they'll come up to me and say, "I was 5 years old. I used to watch Baby's Day Out all the time."
I see some Chicago people that try to get my attention. Jonathan Scott is there. They want to say hello to you.
Yes, I know Jonathan Bay. He lives in Vegas.
Yeah, and talking of which, I mean, you have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and also how does it feel to have your star of that? I mean, you're still a young man, but I mean, when you walk there, do you walk on top of your star?
No, I don't go there at all. To tell you the truth, I mean, I think that would be kind of a little tacky for them to say, "Well, wait a minute, there he is, and there's his star." I said, "No, that's fine. That's for the fans, and God bless them."
I'm one of them, so every time I go there, I go look up for the star. Hey, there's Joe.
Right across Musso and Frank's, which is nice though, because that's a wonderful old class. That's an iconic restaurant in Hollywood. And it's right across the street. And I picked the spot where the star is because they allow you to do that if it's available. In other words, if there's a space available. And I wanted to be next to Errol Flynn, who was a very famous American actor back in the 40s and 50s, because as a child, his movies, the movie Robin Hood and Captain Blood, they were like action pictures. That was my fantasy life. Like, oh my God, he was like my movie star hero. And so to be able to have my star next to Errol Flynn was very meaningful for me. So it was very touching that I was able to have that done. And again, to be asked by the city of Toronto, when I had it done there, because I'd done so many movies in Canada and Toronto, and they have such a great Italian population, as you know.
Yeah.
In the Little Italy up there, off College Street, they have Italian Walk of Fame. So Gino Vanelli and we got it on the same day, which was very nice.
Cool.
He's another wonderful singer and became a good friend of mine.
I'm always, some comedian in New York, they make fun of me because they say that I make everything I like Italian, but it's true. Anything I like, it's Italian. I sing La Vie en Rose of Edith Piaf, and Edith Piaf was a little bit Italian because the mother was Italian. And John Katz, we call him here, is our reporter here, entertainer reporter. I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and he told me he's Greek and Italian. And I said to him, that's why I always liked you. I tend to like anything Italian.
Dalida, Dalida, famous singer Dalida.
Wow, about it, Dalida. Yeah.
Dalida.
So I want to leave you with something that I'm very curious.
Okay.
I mean, you invited me. I think he closed down now. You and your wife, Arlene, you had a restaurant in.
Yes, for 16 years we had a restaurant called Taste Chicago in Burbank, California. Here, but after we just
There it is.
yeah, there we are at the
Look at
restaurant.
us. Yeah.
And,
Did it close down?
Yeah, we did, because it was just, the restaurant business is very, very difficult, and it got to the point where we weren't going to pass it on to the children. They my daughters have different paths, and it was just time to move on. It was just too much hard work. It's always fine. We had wonderful memories, and so it was my wife's decision. It was her restaurant. It was a great
delicious food, because I mean, guys, you should know that, by the way, when you, Joe, invited me, I was served at table by Joe Mantegna, like you were a waiter. So I was
Of course.
I said, you Joe Mantegna, you are so kind. You don't even know. I think, I mean, I understand. I'm not starstruck, but I mean, by you, sometimes I am, because for me, I know who you are. These couple of days when I was Googling your life, I mean, you've worked with everybody, Madonna, you work with everybody, with Sir Ben Kingsley, you work with everybody who's, look at them. I mean, all the stars that we love, and you are one of them. Of course, I know you. Look at him.
There we go, Ben. Yeah, that was great.
And actually, I saw a little interview when you were mentioning that you were doing a movie with Sir Ben Kingsley, and the band Chicago called you if you guys wanted to go somewhere, and you took Gandhi, Ben Kingsley, and the bus with them.
That's right. That's the truth. Yeah, Ben, they were so freaked out because I brought Ben with me. They didn't know that. He walked on the bus, and they all went like, "We've got." And they said, the one guy yelled out an expletive, and it says, "We've got Gandhi on the bus." And so that was great. But yeah, no, I've had a beautiful look. You have beautiful. I know your husband JJ, who's a wonderful person as well. It's always, I've been with my wife now. This will be our 45th anniversary coming up, 45 years. And so when I see people like yourself, great couples, that warms my heart as well. You're a wonderful human being, a wonderful talent. And that's why you bring a smile to my face just to see you and to be able to do something like that.
You always bring a smile on mine. So Joe, I mean, time flew so fast. I had so many questions for you, but I don't know. Ancora, we can do more. I wanted to ask you, do you cook? That was my question. Sei un cuoco, cucini?
Some things. My wife is such a good cook. I don't have to bother to do much. But there are certain things I can do. And like I know how to clean calamari. I mean, in other words, when I get it fresh, I know how to do it, to get that little backbone out, and to do, like, some people think you can just chop it up and say, no. You'll be eating plastic otherwise. There's that little bone in there. So certain things, well, and so I mean, I think I have a bit of a knack for, to maybe create something. But my wife is very, very good at it. So thank God. She cooks excellent Italian. So that's good.
Well, I'm happy. So you're not starving during this quarantine, neither.
No.
Are you quarantined also with Mia and Gia, or they live apart from you guys?
No, Mia, of course. Mia, because she has the autism, and so Mia, she'll always be with us as long as possible. So she's with us. My daughter Gia, she's doing great. She has her own home, but she literally is about 5 minutes away. So we're still we're Italian. People, I used to tell people when the children were young, they said, "What are they going to do when they grow up?" I says, "I don't know, but if they want to go to college, I'll build one upstairs, and they can go they can go upstairs." But that's Italian papa.
You told me that Gia is 30 years old. For me, she's still she looks like she's 15. By the way,
she does. She's very young. She is very young looking. That's true.
Yeah, and so it's Mia. And Mia, you said she has autism, but she's the most. I have such a good memory of her.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. Many people with on the spectrum like that, they are very pure of heart. They don't have a bad bone in their body. So God bless her. She keeps us young in many ways. So that's good.
Mio nonno diceva, my grandfather used to say that the only thing they're missing is la cattiveria. The only thing they don't have is a bad bone, the cattiveria. They're not bad. And that's what Mia is. And my nonna was always right in everything. And it's true. Sometimes those people, well, I love you. I love your whole family. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done. Ever since you appear in my life has been enriched as a blessing.
Pleasure was mine, Giada. Pleasure was mine. I believe things happen for a reason. I think it was serendipitous that we met and that this all happened, and we're still friends. And I will be that way for now and forever.
I love you, man. You stay safe over there, and we cannot wait. We're going to all be tuning in to, when it's going to be, May 24? for the
The
PBS
Memorial
event?
Day concert, you'll have to check it. It's whatever. It's always that the day before Memorial Day, with the Memorial Day
Okay.
on a Monday, so it's on that Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know the exact date. That might be the 24th, whatever that's
I thought
Sunday.
I read somewhere on PBS Vegas, I think is the
Yeah, it will be
24th.
on
But I will,
PBS all over it's broadcast all over the world because they do it on the Armed
yeah,
Forces
they do
Station.
it everywhere.
But
Ma-
that'll be great. Okay.
I will share it with everybody. I
So,
love you.
you have my heart. You, my best to JJ.
I will, and to you too, to your whole family, and stay safe. And I will be seeing you soon for a real hug. Then now I give you the fake one.
I look forward to it. Best.
Love you, man. Bye. Take care. Thank you, Joe. Well, did I tell you guys? It's you know, they say superstars. There are no such a thing as superstar. He's a superstar, but he's a superman in a way that he's a superhuman being. And I think this is the way all the people should be. For sure, he is. If you want to watch this episode again, you can share it, of course, with all your family, or you can go jada.live and you can see also the episode that you have missed something of yesterday or the day before. I see all of you guys are thanking me. I mean, I want to thank you for tuning in with me every day. There, Ferentino, have you seen that I have my I love you badge here today with you? And please also, if you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because on YouTube, subscribe, so you can see all the video. And I was talking to Joe today, is the Worldwide Day of Gratitude. So if you go also on my Instagram, I see if I can share it also on all the other pages. I sang a piece of Lean on Me, because today they were asking to everybody to show love and thank you to our first responders and all the people that are out there helping us. If we could, as artists or musicians, play a piece of Lean on Me. And so I did it this morning very quickly from my phone. So please make sure that you, and please share it. To share it, make sure that you hashtag lean on us, and then you can share the video and let it go viral, just to thank. And if you know nurses, doctors, or people that are out there working, just tag them in the video. So it's going to be our thank you to them. And you can do it with my video. I see if I can post it as soon as I'm done with this one, also here on social media. Well, my guest today, I mean, I think it's I'm always say I have so many blessings in my heart, in my life, and I think Joe is one of them. It's a person that is so humble, with the feet on the ground, and he keeps me. I'm already with my feet on the ground, because, you know, I come from a family where my grandfather used to say we are all human beings first and then all the rest. So I'm like that. But then to see that somebody that is so accomplished and so successful, like Joe Mantegna, doing the same. And I mean, I've seen him acting with people and treating everybody in a way that only a few people can do. And I think he deserves all the success and even more only because of that. And I feel surely blessed to have his love and friendship of him and his whole family. So I think the time today flew so fast. And what else did I forgot to say? Now today, as I said, is day of thank you. So I want to thank you also from the bottom of my heart for being with me, for sharing this video and making it possible for me to do all these things. I want to share all the people that during these 43 days together have donated. You remember, you can donate and help me to keep continuing doing this day after day. You can donate wherever you can. Even I said, sometimes we have 2,500 people watching this video. If everybody donate 50 cents, which I think we can all do, I mean, I will be able to support myself and support also the musicians that I know. Many of my musicians are struggling right now. So, and I know that many of you have been donating big amounts, but you can also donate, as I said, $1, 50 cents, wherever you can. And actually now you are able to donate on Venmo, on also on PayPal. And since this morning, we have another system called what? The Cash App. I like that, the Cash App. I don't know if he's appearing somewhere already. I don't know. JJ will make sure that you guys can see the Cash App. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah. And yesterday, thanks to my friend Daniel Ammett, actually, he suggested to me, he said, I just joined Cameo. Cameo is this website for artists, singers, musicians, actors, wherever you want to be. And you can basically join Cameo if you are in the arts, and people can go on Cameo. For instance, if you do cameo.com/Giada Valenti, you will find my profile and my little video presentation, and you can request me to do and wish happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy anything to whatever person you want. Mother's Day is coming up, so if you want me to sing Mama or wherever to your mother or to some special or wherever birthday, you go there and you can donate. Is a donation things, and I will, and you can tell me exactly to who you want me to sing, and I can make a special video with special names, and then you can grab the video and send it to the people you want to surprise with. So my friend Maria Porreca this morning said Mother's Day is coming. I said it's true. So if you want to have something special for Mother's Day, make sure to let me know in advance, because I think Mother's Day is going to be very, very busy for me. So if you want Mother's Day, make sure that you go already. So it's www.cameo, and it's cameo.com/Giada Valenti, Giada Valenti. But I post something on my social media, actually on Facebook. So you guys on Instagram, I'm seeing all thousands of people here on Instagram. You guys on Instagram have to go on YouTube or on Twitter or Facebook to see the thing. And as always, I never get tired to say Giada.life if you want to see back the videos. So tomorrow it's Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to be having a recap of the whole week, and I'm going to talk about my hair. I'm going to talk about what I did this week behind the scene. I'm going to share all the things with you. I'm going to answer question and answer tomorrow. I try to read all the messages and answer live whatever you're telling me, since we have no guest. And then Saturday we are cooking in the kitchen, and I'm going back to make something sweet, but very light. It's a panna cotta con la frutta fresca. It's like a cream, homemade cream with fresh fruits. It's very easy to make. It's going to take like 10-15 minutes, and then you have to refrigerate it. It's the most delicious things that you can make for a Sunday night, to have a little sweet something that will make you dream. And I put the ingredient on my Facebook, so you can go and scroll down. And then Sunday we're going to be singing, and next week I have also some amazing guests. I'm going to have on Tuesday talking about my passion for bass player, one of the best bass player in the whole world, Nathan East. Nathan East is a legend. He's the bass player of Sting, Eric Clapton, in all the records of Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Andrea Bocelli, I mean, every time Eric Clapton tour, of course, he's one of the members of Foreplay, the very famous jazz things. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to have somebody from Vegas, John DiDomenico, a fantastic impressionist and comedian. And I'm going to pick his brain to know, first of all, how he prepares to impersonate all these famous people, because he really becomes the people he does. So I'm going to ask him the preparation time, how he got involved. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a lot of laugh, because I'm going to have Kelly Clinton Holmes here from Las Vegas to my guest. So a beautiful lady, and I'm sure she will prepare something to crack us up and make us laugh. And of course, I want to know more about also Kelly Clinton as a woman, as a person, as a wife of Clint Holmes. And so this is going to happen but tomorrow, so 2 p.m. is going to be. So if you have any question, I see you guys had a lot of questions today for Joe. I'm sorry that I could not bother Joe and answer all the questions, but I always tag him in the thing, and hopefully we'll have time to answer. Of I can do it again later in the month, because we're going to be doing this for a long time. Maybe we can have Joe back with questions you had for him. Guys, I thank you so very much for being with me. At the end of this Giada Live, every day there is Dankeschön. I made a special version of Dankeschön of Wayne Newton for you. I changed slightly the lyrics, and I know some of you stayed until the end to listen to it. Somebody actually was saying, can you sing it one day? Yeah, maybe one of these days I can sing it to you. Thank you, Diane, for this beautiful little thing, very precious, you gave me with the sign of I love you. I'm wearing it now from on every day. Yeah, the microphone is turning inside out. During the interview, I saw that my shirts were opening. But anyway, I want to thank again my guest, Joe Mantegna, for sharing his heart and his time, precious time with all of us. All of you for being here with me. I see a lot of new people join me every time. I thank you for that. And thank you for sharing my video. Keep sharing, keep sharing. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I know you love me. So please, if you love me, please do what I ask you to do. And I will post my video of Lean on Me. So, and if you want to share it later, don't forget the hashtag Lean on Us. We are all in this storm together. Different boat, same sea. I'll see you tomorrow, stessa ora, 2 p.m. Voglio salutare la mia mamma e il mio papà che ci guardano sempre dall'Italia. Vi voglio bene, cari mamma e papà, e tutti i miei amici dalla Francia. Natalie was watching, I think, today because she's working during the weekend. I think today she was here, and I know Natalie, your mom adores Joe Mantegna. Natalie came to the set of Criminal Minds together with me, and we took a special pictures for her mom. So love you, guys. Love you all so very much. I love you all, friends and family. And I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow here, same time, same place, 2 p.m., 5 p.m. for the East Coast, ore 23 per voi dall'Italia, e ci vediamo domani. Dal mio cuore al vostro. Statemi bene. A domani. Ciao ragazzi.
Dankeschön, dear old Dankeschön. Thank you for seeing me again. Now I go, but I truly hope that I'll see you here sometime, same place. And until then, my heart just say, Dankeschön, dear old Dankeschön. Thank you for seeing me again. Though I'm here in my solitude, I know you are there, and in my heart I smile again. And so I sing here in my solitude, waiting to see you, same time, same place. And I can't wait to say again, Dankeschön, 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 dear old Auf Wiedersehen. See you tomorrow. A domani.